This video is going to be a little different. This video is about strength and resiliency. My personality is I'm very accommodating. I go out of my way to make everything easy for everybody but myself. I've been that way for a very long time. So when I got surgery the second time for cancer, I thought, okay, I'm going to do this quick and easy. I'll do a double mastectomy. They do reconstruction at the same time. It was a recovery, but not the same recovery as the other surgery I possibly could have had, which was a microsurgery, and much more involved. So after this surgery, I ended up getting a rash, which then turned into an infection, a staph infection, which then turned into sepsis and a 5-day hospital stay, which then turned into wound care for 3 months with a wound vac, which then turned into hyperbaric chamber for 3 months, and finally having a third surgery to remove the implant that was infected, basically a deconstruction. And at the time, I was told to wait at least a year before I even think about doing any more surgery. So that was the end of 2023. I finally decided to do the reconstruction about 6 months ago. And part of that was having a CT scan so they know that you have a good blood vessel to use for this microsurgery. And when they did this CT scan, they found an adrenal gland tumor, which shouldn't really be too surprising because adrenal glands secrete adrenaline, which you tend to secrete a lot of when you live with people that are super difficult and you're always in flight or fight. But that's neither here nor there. But anyway, that tumor, which tends to happen with people, it's not related to anything else, but it causes your blood pressure to be out of control. And usually they diagnose it when you're on more than one blood pressure pill and your blood pressure is still outrageous, which mine on a good day is usually 140 over 90 with 4 blood pressure meds. So I scheduled my surgery. I work for a school district. I scheduled it for the summertime when it's very slow to make it easy on everybody else, because that's what I do. And I arranged everything so that I had people coming in to help me. I was going to work from home, which thankfully I can do because I work for a virtual school. And I basically set it all up so it was as easy as possible on everybody. So when I went for my pre-op last week, I was told they were canceling my surgery because I had to have the adrenal gland surgery first, which would have been, I totally understand that because he's working with very small blood vessels and your blood pressure is hard to control and your blood vessels will pulsate and it makes it really hard for the surgeon. And I get it. I do. But it just so happened that when they found the adrenal gland tumor, I had called the surgeon's office and asked them specifically, which surgery do I do first? And being the overly accommodating person that I am, even though I spent 8 minutes on the phone with the surgeon's office and I never got a call back, I didn't pursue it. I didn't call him back and go, hey, hello, I'm asking you a question. Can I get an answer? I didn't do it. So, anyway, fast forward to last week. I have my pre op appointment. And mind you, when I left my husband, I told him at the time I was not having this major surgery done when I lived with him because obviously, with all the complications I had the first time, I was not going to live with him and do it. I just can't heal living there. So, but he knew that. And it took me a long time to decide to even do this surgery because it is so involved and because I live alone and because I've been made for so many years to feel like my decision making isn't the greatest and I'm not very good at things and I'm weak and it was just everything I ever did was wrong. And I started to believe it after a while. But now I've been out of it 6 months. And when I sat and thought about it, when I finally slowed down for a second, thought about it, it's like I've done a lot of hard things. I've done cancer twice. And even though I lived with him at the time, I didn't have any help. He was not supportive. He pretended to be supportive. He went to all my appointments so that everybody knew he went to my appointments. He bought me flowers so that everybody knew he bought me flowers. It wasn't for my benefit, it was for his. So I basically did this on my own. And when I did hyperbarics and I did, you know, 3 months of that, I was driving there and driving back by myself. And an hour and a half in the tube every day for 5 days a week for 3 months. I can do hard things. I moved out. I pay my own bills. I did rack up a bunch of debt, but that's another story. I bought my own car. I had never lived on my own, ever. And I love it. It's so quiet and peaceful. And I bought my own car by myself. And I was practical and bought one I can afford. So it's okay. But my point here is you can do hard things. And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Because it's hard living like that with those people for that long. That's hard. Bending over backwards every day to make everybody happy but yourself, that's hard. Living by yourself and pleasing yourself, that's a different kind of hard because now you don't know what you like and what you don't like and what you want to do. I don't know what to do with myself after work. I have no idea. But you can do hard things and you just have to make that decision to do it. And my surgery will happen. I mean, I drove home from that appointment, my pre-op appointment. It's a 2-hour drive home. I went by myself. And I can honestly say that was the first time ever I've lost my shit completely. Crying, screaming, cussing, you name it. People on the freeway probably thought I was nuts. That's all right. Probably was. But I got it all out. And there was so much anger built up. The anger of all the crap I've been through the last, God, 3 years especially. But all of it. I mean, all of it. And it just all came out. Because I didn't realize how much I wanted to have that surgery until I scheduled it. Because I finally decided that I was worth it and that I wanted to feel whole. And it wasn't about anybody else, it was about me. It was about me feeling like I can go out in public and feel confident, which I haven't felt in a very long time. And so when that got ripped away, it just was like, what the hell, you know? And I could dive down in a hole and stay there, but it's not going to do me any good and it's not going to make any difference. So I let it all out. And I told myself, you know what? And I do believe that everything happens for a reason. And maybe the reason is that, I'll have time to get my divorce final that's still not final. I'll be able to get that adjustable bed I want so that when I do have the surgery, it's easier on me to get in and out of bed. Because this is a surgery, it's 8 to 10 hour surgery. It's a 2-month recovery. You can't lift more than 5 pounds. You can't lift your arms above your chest level. My hair, that's me, great. But I'll probably be in a better position to heal from that at that time. So I'm sure there's a reason why it got postponed and it will happen. But my main point here is I had to figure out that I was worth it, that I'm not dead yet, right? So when I finally left, The sad thought that occurred to me was like, you know what? At this rate, I'm going to die before him. And he was 8 years older than me. And that's not acceptable because the only thing I had to look forward to was a little bit of peace. And I wasn't even going to get that. So there you go. A little bit of humor, but not too far off either. But I just want to say, whatever you think you can't do, you can absolutely do it. You just have to decide to do it. Everybody has that strength. You have that strength. You just need to call on it. Pull it out of your boots, pull it out of wherever you have to pull it out of, but pull it out and do what you need to do and move forward. And that's all I got. And I hope you have a great day.